Your system is strong. Even on difficult days, it keeps moving you forward. This is the mechanism through which real financial outcomes are produced, not through effort alone, but through structured, repeatable behavior guided by conscious design. When you leave that design to others, you shouldn't be surprised by where you end up. Once you recognize that consistent outcomes come from structured behavior, the next logical step is to examine the kind of structure that produces different results. Most people rely on effort, working harder, longer, and with more urgency. But effort alone has limits. Time is finite, energy is finite. What separates those who break out of financial limitations isn't that they work harder. It's that they think in terms of systems and leverage. They design mechanisms that separate their results from the amount of time they put in. This is a critical distinction that determines whether income remains linear or becomes exponential. The conventional model is simple: trade time for money. You show up, you work, and you get paid. But that model caps your output at the number of hours you can work. It has no multiplier. When income is tied to time, growth becomes dependent on either working more hours or charging more per hour, both of which are constrained. This is why so many people hit a ceiling. Their model doesn't scale. The alternative is to shift from time-based income to outcome-based income, creating or participating in systems that continue to produce even when you're not actively working. This could take the form of investments, intellectual property, business ownership, or technology. The specific form is less important than the underlying principle: building something that works independently of your daily effort. Leverage is the core idea here. When you use money to make more money, you're using financial leverage. When you use a system that serves many people at once, you're using operational leverage. When you use content, code, or capital to create repeatable value, you're using scalable leverage. These tools are not out of reach. What keeps people from using them is usually a lack of exposure, not a lack of capacity. Thinking in systems requires a shift in how you evaluate opportunities. Instead of asking, how much will I earn from this task? The better question is, what system am I building by doing this? If the answer is that you're just completing another task that disappears once it's done, that task may be necessary, but it isn't transformative. On the other hand, if you're building a process that can be repeated, automated, or delegated, you're creating leverage. That effort compounds. Many people never make this shift because they remain attached to effort-based identity. They take pride in working hard, and there's nothing wrong with discipline, but pride in effort without attention to output efficiency becomes a trap. You can work tirelessly